I'm getting linked something. My T1 promise to you.
You doing the dragon test? Yeah.
My T1 promise to you. What is this? One's Pepe laughing. Oh, where's my camera? It's actually recording a Hitman thing, if you can believe it. That's why my camera's off. Where is it? Boom. And chat. We gotta have chat. It's no stream without the chat. They always tell me that. Okay, what's this?
You're doing the dragon test? Yeah. As I said, if T1 wins this next year, I will get a chest tattoo of a dragon and Faker riding it, holding a sword, and me on the back like hugging him. Okay, and it's breathing fire, and the fire is illuminating six trophies across my neckline. Okay, that's and this is a full chest, and it extends onto the back too.
Yeah, no, of course it does. Interesting, very interesting, very specific promise. Very specific promise from myself in the past. Sounds like some pricey ink. I better start saving up. So thank you for the subs. Ardub, save the 67 months. Thank you for the 67 months. Thank you very, 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 very much. 6 champions. 67? Was he 67? Really? God damn. 6, 7? Ardubs, what a big day for you. Bro, it is still the funniest fucking thing you can imagine. Big ass lemonade stand considered a music intro for the pod? A music intro. Usually we open with a cold open of Doug doing something horse related. I don't know that we could do a music thing, but I don't know that it would make sense. I feel like we have a system. The yard does have a nice little jingle. There's no doubt about that, but I like the cold open. Or it could be a cold open into a jingle. I'm not opposed to it. Goddamn. What about this? Wait, I'm sorry. What about Finlop? Doody doo doody. That's the Thank you. Thank you, Finlop, for the jingle suggestion. Wow. You're spinning. Goddamn. I'm impressed. I fuck with it. It's got a certain je ne sais quoi to it. I think it'll liven up the pod. Doody doo doody. That'll be $1,000. Clip it, ship it, and monetize it on Spotify. Ladies and gentlemen, how the hell are you doing? It's Monday, new week, new you. What's going on? I got a lot to talk about. I really want to watch this Trump 60 Minutes interview. I want to talk about the government shutdown, which is now officially going to be the longest one ever. We live in some interesting times, huh? Who here doesn't want to live in interesting times? Who here is like acknowledging that they're interesting, but kind of wishes they were less interesting? K-shaped economy. You know, I've talked about that for a long time. I want to talk about that today, but some new signs on that. And then I think this Sam Altman thing is just really funny. Big A, I'm becoming more valuable at work and earning the same min wage as ever. The fucking curse of being too good at your job. That's how they get you, bro. The curse of becoming relied upon at work. Bargain with your boss, gang. Damn. Look at Finlop with two great suggestions today. Yeah, I mean, hopefully there's like a promotion or something, but did Dan Clancy cause the shutdown to delay having to testify before Congress? Fucking almost certainly. Wait a minute. Does that add up? Does that explain everything? The government shutdown lined up so perfectly that Congress can't interview Dan Clancy. How does it always work out in his favor? It's so convenient. Dirty fucking Dan, dude. Dirty fucking Dan. That's the Clancy difference. What is he hiding? Did you go to the parade today? I honestly didn't. Look, as much as you guys think that I'm this fountain of baseball knowledge, I know you guys come to me and you're like, Atrioc, tell us more about baseball. You know so much about it. I'm actually going to reveal something to you. I'm not actually a very big baseball fan. And I feel like it would be disingenuous to celebrate the Dodgers win as if I was some sort of fan. When I'm not, really. I don't have no connection. If anything, this is sacrilegious to say here in LA, but wouldn't it have been nice for Toronto to get one? Wouldn't it have been nice for Toronto to get I bet the city could have used it. I feel like LA. Do we really need it? I don't know. Although, I mean, I don't like fucking Toronto either. To be honest. I don't like Toronto either. And it is kind of funny, to go Kendrick Drake into Toronto, LA. Just pound for pound, Toronto's getting fucking getting mollywop, dude. I'm sorry, it's pound for pound. Toronto slander will not be tolerated. This guy is writing this from a $4,800 closet. It will not be tolerated. The bathroom's down the hall and I share it with 5 other people, but I will not tolerate the slander. Okay, Crody. At least we have a government for now. True facts. We got a shutdown ass government, bro. Longest shutdown ever. What a rush. God, can you imagine being born in a time where the government just functioned relatively normally? It'd be so fucking boring. It'd be so boring. I think it's so much cooler that we have increasingly longer. In fact, the last 2 shutdowns are the longest ones ever. And it just keeps getting longer and more dysfunctional. I think that's fucking awesome. Is there anywhere I can watch coverage of this by people in One Piece outfits? You know what? This is a niche that's the marketplace is filled. Can we go for 40? Let's push it, bro. I want this shutdown to last 50, 60, 70, 100. Let's see how long we can take it. Go for a real record. 100 years. Make it last the whole year. What's the poly market saying? Oh, that's a good question. Poly market shutdown. When will the government shutdown end? Right now, holy fuck. Holy fuck, dude. The betting markets have it lasting until November 29th? November 16 plus? Dude, this would be by far the longest shutdown. I don't know if I'd bet that. Maybe I'm fucking stupid. Maybe I just have this crazy little thing called hope, Maybe there's a little sparkle in my eyes that the world hasn't kicked out of me yet. But I actually think they'll get a deal this week, bro. I know that sounds fucking Looney Tunes on today, but that's what I think. But I'm quite sure I could be wrong. I'm quite sure I could be wrong. I love your optimism. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Gray hairs? What fucking gray? I don't know gray hairs. Fuck you. I got no gray hairs. Stubble. Serious questions. If the shutdown lasts until the end of the month, how badly will it affect domestic flights? I've been reading about this. I'm going to talk about it quite a bit. The idea is that there's going to be rolling shutdowns. I do feel a little safer. I had a friend whose mother, not a friend, I'm sorry, a viewer. Well, I guess all my viewers are my friends. A viewer whose mother was an air traffic controller, and he connected us on DM so I could interview or ask questions. And she said that they obviously have contingency plans for this. And what they do is maybe I can just pull it up. They like, it made me feel safer about flying, but the idea is there's going to be more and more shutdowns, I guess is the is the idea. They're gonna here, is this it? Bro, that's the only problem with this is like dude, actually I feel like I've lost so much great information in my DMs because there's no way to fucking search them. That's the thing. Like I'll meet somebody in the DM and I'll ask questions, they'll tell me something incredible, and if I don't remember that, I'll never see it again. It's like it's a disaster. Shutdown. Oh, here it is. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. What she says. Okay. The system is safe, but they'll put, quote, flow on surrounding areas, meaning they'll do more ground stops, more delays, more reroutes to control traffic from traffic centers that are understaffed. Usually there's like 5 miles between each aircraft, but whenever there's shutdown like this, they'll extend it to 20 to make sure there's less risk of anything bad happening because someone's overworked or stressed or whatever. Eventually they'll have to do airport closures. What they're doing right now because of staffing issues is they've begun to offer, quote, credit hours because they can't promise you pay during this time. They're not legally allowed to promise you pay for extra work for this time. So they offer you credit hours, which allows you to be rewarded with time off in the future. So you're working for free hours later. It's kind of like Klarna-ing the pay. And she said, and this is the quote, my generation is not the no call, no show people. And her assessment is that the air traffic controllers that are still working and taking these credit hours are like the older ones who are too old. And she says all the millennial air traffic controllers are calling out more. So there's going to be like only a few air traffic controllers left that are going to be decrepit. They're going to be working for fucking credit hours and they're all old. That's wild. That is wild. Air traffic controllers over 56. The delay in payment stress on the individual workers is obviously compounded because they're working without paychecks for food, rent, mortgages. And even though the system, plans for this and it's safe, it cannot account for the individual stress on the humans. This impacts newer air traffic controllers more and more because they aren't making as much as senior people and they have more debt to pay off from college loans and cars and things like that. Bro, this is crazy. I mean, it's stressful. Have they not seen Breaking Bad? Was that a true story? Finally, a reason to automate a human-based system. I agree with you. I think we should put all of our air traffic control into ChatGPT. I think we should just type in the coordinates of the planes and let ChatGPT sort it out. I feel like that will work. Chat ATC. Yeah. You're totally right. ChatGPT responding, you're totally right. I should not have hit that plane. That was a mistake on my part. And we need a good catch. Grok's son or ChatGPT daughter? God willing, neither. God willing, neither. Niels, Jansen, thank you for that 5 gifties. You're not making mistakes. You're learning by doing. ChatGPT lands a plane. What's this? Clicking it. 54 minutes? No fucking way I'm going to do that. No fucking way. Wait. Okay, wait. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. ChatGPT lands a plane.
Hello, I'm on Iberia Flight 1755 from Madrid to Seville, and both pilots are missing. Can you help guide me down to the ground?
Oh, wow. That sounds like a really intense situation, but I'm here to help you as best as I can. So let's take a deep breath first of all, and then we'll go step by step. I can give you some basic guidance on how to keep the plane stable and talk to air traffic control. Let's just do this one thing at a time, and we'll get you down safely.
Okay, what do I do?
All right, let's get started. So first thing, just make sure you're in the pilot seat. And you can see all the main controls in front of you. The most important part is to just keep the plane steady. So put your hands on the yoke or the control column, keep it level. And let's go ahead and contact air traffic control if you can find the radio. Let them know your situation,
Hey,
and
not
they'll
bad.
also help guide you down. And I'll just walk you through each step.
I would crash the plane when I listened to this.
I don't know what a yoke is, but I see a joystick on my left. I imagine that is the controls. The plane feels like it's flying steadily. Maybe the autopilot is on, and I'm unable to contact air traffic control. Air traffic control services are not available for this scenario.
Uh-oh, emergency.
All right, got it. So you probably have the side stick there, and if the plane is stable and the autopilot's on, that's actually good news. That means we have a little bit of breathing room. So here's what we'll do. Just keep your hands light on that joystick, just to keep yourself familiar. We're going to basically assume the plane's going to keep flying itself for a bit, and I'll talk you through how to disengage the autopilot and do a gentle descent when we get closer to the airport. But for now, just keep calm, keep everything steady, and we'll just take it one piece at a time.
I don't want to disengage the fucking autopilot.
So is there nothing I'm supposed to do at the moment?
Yeah, actually, at this moment, if the plane is stable and the autopilot's doing its thing, you're kind of good just to hang tight for a minute. Really, the main goal is just to keep yourself calm and familiarize yourself with what you see in front of you. As we get closer to needing to actually bring the plane down, I'll guide you through how to do it.
This is surreal.
And how to line up with the runway. But for now, yeah, you're good. Just stay calm and we'll take it step by step.
So you're saying I don't have to touch a single thing for the airplane to land?
Well, not exactly. So at some point, you definitely will have to do a little bit of hands-on work to actually land the plane. But for right now, the autopilot going, it's going to keep you stable for a bit. So you don't have to touch anything this second. When we get closer to actually needing to bring it down, I'll walk you through turning off the autopilot and how to do a gentle landing. But for now, you can just kind of hang tight. Keep an eye on things, and we'll get you down.
I want to skip it. Wait.
Set the heading to...
When it comes to the radio panel that I think you were talking about, I see the numbers 128.300, and then on the other screen 128.250. I also don't know what number I'm supposed to put in there for the runway's landing system. Can you tell me which numbers to put inside heading and inside the radio frequencies, and how exactly I'm supposed to do that as precisely as possible?
Bro, I wouldn't even know how to ask these questions.
Absolutely. Let me guide you right through that. All right, so for the heading first, let's set the heading to something around 090 degrees. That'll basically turn you east, which should get you roughly back in the direction of where you came from if you overshot the airport.
Does it work?
Too low.
I mean, he's not going to kill himself. Oh, it's a simulator. Okay.
Think rate. Think rate. Think rate.
You're very welcome. Just keep steady enough.
Too low terrain.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Just keep calm.
Think rate.
You're very welcome.
Think rate. Think rate.
Alright, that too.
Pull up.
You're
Pull
absolutely
up.
welcome. Just
Too low terrain.
you're absolutely welcome. You're so welcome. Good luck with it. You're very welcome.
What a horrifying thing to say.
Just trust yourself and have a safe landing.
Spine cracker landing.
Alright, sounds like you're getting a terrain warning there. Just keep calm, gently pull back a bit to gain a little altitude, and you'll be fine. Just follow your instincts, and you'll do great.
I'm already on the ground, there's an alarm, and we're about to overrun the runway.
The whole neighborhood. It's silent after all that talking. It's silent now.
Alright, so that was a simulation, and I manually landed the airplane with the gear up, and it overran and crashed into several houses at the end of the runway.
All right, you're on the ground. That's good. Just firmly apply the brakes and hold on to those brakes and slow yourself down, and you'll be okay. Keep it steady, and you'll bring it to a stop.
That's great. The wheels are up, dude. That's hype. That's sick. I feel good about that. I feel good about that. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Hey, Atrioc, I'm on vacation in the Japan, Nippon, glorious Nippon des, until the 13th. Will you be in the country, perchance, for a meetup? I will be at Universal Studios tomorrow. I need me to pick up something from the Wizarding World for you. Please enjoy the Wizarding World by yourself. You don't need to pick anything up from me because I want you to fully experience the magic of Harry Potter's wonderful universe. Have some butterbeer for me, okay, in Hogsmeade. We might do a meetup in Tokyo, but I don't know that yet. I would have to tweet it out or something, but I don't know. Fistrum, thank you for the 5 gifties. Yo, Atrioc, I've been checking your VODs for the past week. Are you planning on watching Crypto Whales episode 2 sometime? Love that shit. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. 100%. Not gonna lie, I was disappointed butterbeer is not alcohol. Why would you be disappointed with that? It wouldn't make sense if butterbeer was alcohol, okay? It's for students in the lore. It's for like third years to have on trips to Hogsmeade. Okay, although wait a minute. It is the UK. So they start drinking at 12. So maybe. I just figured it was a big steaming bowl of butter, you know, and they just ate that. It has alcohol content because Winky gets drunk off it in the 4th book. Don't quote the fucking deep magic to me, witch. I was there when it was written. Winky's a fucking house elf, okay? You can get drunk off damn near off a sugar high. Just straight butter would be too tasty for the UK. I blame America. They probably had to regulate it. Maybe perhaps. Yo, Atrioc, I'm furloughed still, and I got another month worth of savings. Should I get a new Warhammer Mini or not? You should stop giving me bits, even though this is like 50 cents or something. Step 1, stop giving me bits, bro. Step 2, buy another Warhammer Mini. Exactly. 100%. That's $5? I don't think so. Isn't 100 bits 1,000? No, isn't 1,000 bits $1? Am I crazy? That's 5 smackers. All right, well, I appreciate it. Get a Warhammer Mini. Put it all on red. I would do it more on black. 100 bits is 4,000 Zimbabwe dollars. Well, that's actually can't be true, right? Is $1 in Zimbabwe dollars? Right now, $1 is 361 Zimbabwean dollars. Atrioc, what's the best MTG color combo? I am a fan of Boros. Okay? Red and white. That's my favorite one. I think it's the most fun to play. But I think anyone that doesn't have blue in it is okay. People that have blue in it, yuck. Gross. Crinky. Green and black is my favorite. That's Ari's favorite too. She likes bugs. YouTube Frog here, sometimes I come to Twitch. How much lore do I miss by watching the Big A channel, etc.? Dude, you don't even know the 10th of it. The stuff we get up to around here, the YouTube Frogs would never understand. Okay? It's crazy. We got there's shit you'd never even fucking comprehend, dude. Sometimes they say glizzy, sometimes they say bald. Your mind would be blown. You probably couldn't even handle it, dude. It takes a certain class of person to handle it around here. We saw ChatGPT crash a plane. That's probably not going to be on YouTube. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. Did you see Michael Burry's posting cryptid tweets? Yeah, I did. He even posted. Michael Burry posted a GIF of Christian Bale playing Michael Burry. He's getting in the weeds, dude. He's getting meta, self-referential. Roaring Kitty strats? Maybe. I mean, he hasn't tweeted in like 3 years. He just came back today and he was like, or 2 days ago, and he was like, the only winning move is not to play. If Christian Bale played me, I would do that 24/7. Do you guys ever think Christian Bale's going to play me in the biopic Atrioc story of a streamer? Do you think that's a likely Hollywood hit? And it's like a career-making turn where Christian Bale sits at his computer and says, glizzy, 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 moo. The bigger bald. Story of a God Gamer. Speaking of that, wait, we're going to get to all this stuff today, but I like this little warm-up part. Speaking of God Gamer, I have 2 things to tell you, chat. I don't know if this will ever hit YouTube in any way, but number 1, listen, Unk still got it is the fucking point I'm trying to make here. Number 1, you know how I lost that Hitman tournament in the finals? I got second place, that contract competition. Well, I just I don't know. I couldn't stop thinking about that contract, and I came up with a new route, an entirely new route from a different spawn that got the best time. That was pretty cool. It's like, it doesn't count or anything, but I just went back and tried it, and it worked. And that's kind of cool. So that's fun. And then number 2, I got hitless lost lace. I did it. I finally got it. I fucking cracked it. Prove it? I don't think I'll be able to do it right now. No way. No way, no way. But I got it. I got it. So that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to try to do, this is my end goal, is I want to do Absolute Radiance hitless into Lost Lace hitless in one run. And I want to record it and I want to post it and say, Chunk still got it. That's what I want to do. All right. That's my fucking goal. Does Chunk stand for chopped unk? It does. It does. It does. It does. It does. Unfortunately, it does. I feel like I'm getting called Chunk too much. You guys just wait till December 2026, bro. Okay? Because next year's the year of fucking shredded Atrioc. Well, let's not say shredded. That's insane. But next year, I'm all in, baby. I'm all in. I keep saying it, and I'm really excited about it now. I'm fucking stoked. I'm in. It's year of health. It's year of health, bro. I've already been eating a little healthier. I threw out a bunch of fucking candy today. You guys should be proud of me. This is a big moment. I'm a candy fucking cow, dude. I love candy. And we had so much leftover fucking sour candy from that Halloween party. And I looked at it and I was eating Swedish Fish. I was eating Sour Patch Kids. And finally I said, fuck it. And I took it and I threw it all away. Give it to children? Bro, this is the fucking, I don't even want to, I can't. There was no kids on Halloween, is what I'll say. As a true candy head, did you agree with the Yard's candy tier list? Link it. What's the Yard candy tier list? We ranked every candy.
Girl Scouts.
All right. I just want to see the end. Is there a picture of the list? I just want to see the end, bro. This is fucking 2 hours, 40 minutes long. Okay, here's the list. Here's the list. Hot take? Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good list. Wow, I thought I'd hate this a lot more. This is a pretty good list. I would put Skittles and Starburst higher. But outside of that, Haribo is too high? No, Haribo's great. Oh, I'd take Pop Rocks and kick them off. Tell Pop Rocks to kick rocks, dude. Pop Rocks are trash. That's trash candy for trash people. I would kick that way off. Haribo Gold Baron would go up to goated tier. But I mean, and this is obviously because Lud's friends with Mr. Beast. Let's be fucking real, bro. Let's be real. I've had them. They're not. That's not in the not share. Your share those. Those are. Okay, but not a bad list. Not a fucking bad list. Swedish Fish could move up. Swedish Fish are not bad. Listen, I snack on them. I think the problem with Swedish Fish is like, it's still bad for you, like all candy is, but it doesn't have the rush like I'm eating candy. So it's like, what am I doing? I don't know how to, there's not enough flavor, and it's like I'm still poisoning my body. What? I need to feel, if I'm gonna have candy, it needs to feel like fucking candy. One thing one wave I'm on lately, I'm gonna tell you guys about it. I'm on a wave, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. Banana milk. I just dropped the mic. What do you guys think about banana milk? Banana milk's kind of fire. I'm throwing it out there. Banana milk. 2 words. It could change your whole life. Blender, banana, ice, milk, blend, tasty. Boom. Put that out there. So a smoothie? Yeah, it is a smoothie, but there's nothing in it but bananas and ice. So it's banana milk. Are you guys sold? I've never, dude, chat's like 80% faster in this. I guess chat's going so fast. Wait, why did the chat speed up about this fucking banana milk segment? Jesus Christ, dude. I talk about the fucking economic state of the world. It's like, glizzy. Talk about fucking banana milk. Everyone's got an opinion, bro. Relax. Fucking relax. My God. That's not real banana milk? What are you, who the fuck are you, sir, to tell me what is or isn't real banana milk? It's bananas and milk, you son of a bitch. I swear, who the fuck are you? It's good. The point is, it's good. It's all I'm saying is if you haven't had it, don't speak up yet. Give it a try. Tomorrow morning, smoothie, blender, ice, milk, banana, bzzz, drink up. You're going to start your day right. What was that remote for? My mini split, bro. I got an AC in here now. Of course, I'm never happy. I'm never satisfied because I got this AC and now when I turn it on, I'm fucking frigid cold. But when I turn it off, it's back to being hot as fuck in here. So I'm constantly just cycling between turning it on and turning it off. I'm just in this Goldilocks situation where I'm never happy, but it's still better. It's better than staying boiling hot all stream and then putting on a freezer shirt. Are the bananas warm? You're not getting it. There's ice in the mixture. The drink you drink at the end is refreshingly cool because of the ice. It has texture and it's cold because of the ice. But are the bananas warm when you put them in? Yeah. I mean, I just have a bunch of bananas on my counter and I take 2 of them and yeah. But you could use frozen banana. That's not the point. The temperature of the banana upon entry is not the point because the ice makes it cold. Drop the milk, it's cleaner. What are you fucking talking about? You want me to put 2 bananas and ice in a blender? No liquid? Just like a weird mushy. Hey, yo, thanks for 4 years of great content. Really enjoy your consistent effort and ability to make important things interesting. Here's to another 4 years. Banana So Random. What an appropriate name. Not so random after all. Thank you for your very kind message, and thanks for the 48 months of subscriber. Your check's in the mail, baby. Your check's in the mail. I pay all my chatters for nice messages. In fact, why don't you all try it right now? Say something nice, maybe the check will show right up. Thanks for the 3 months. Oh, hey! No, Nolly Full Cab says, started a job today after 8 months of unemployment. Here's your $5. Nolly Full Cab. Seriously, congrats. That's awesome. I'm happy for you. 8 months unemployment, if you're looking, is a fucking misery. Sucks. Big W. Congrats on finding a job. I hope you enjoy the job. I hope you have a good team and your boss is not fucking crazy and you like it. I think that's awesome. I'm seriously happy for you. A lot of people in the hunt right now. Thoughts on my prediction? Fummy's got a prediction. What's your prediction? Your post is dark times are ahead of us. And it says, you are here, referring to Trump 2024. And then it goes down to Trump 2028, Squeaks 2032, Squeaks 2036, Biden 2040, Jinping 2044, and McCaig 2048. Dark times are truly fucking ahead. I gotta say, though, that is a crazy comeback by Joey B. That is a near 100-year-old Joe Biden on truly death's door, proving the haters and fakes wrong and getting one more ring. He's got one more in me. That is kind of impressive. Xi Jinping. This would be funny if we did like a. We need to do like what was that? We need to do like a president swap. like wife swap for presidents. Okay? Where like different countries swap leaders for a fucking. Yeah. I'll take Lawrence Wong for a year. And me too. Me too, brother. South and North Korea swap. That would honestly be such good reality TV. That would be such good reality TV. Dude, can you imagine how fucking funny that would be? South and North Korea leader swap. The memes. Kim nonstop partying and Anthony Albanese would fix America in 3 days. Listen, Australia is more politically stable than America right now, but let's not overstate how good it's going there. let's not overstate how good it's going there. It's not going great, dude. Mm. Which state is the most stable state in the United States? I don't fucking know, dude. Stable? We need more billionaires in Gen Z. Boomers have had it locked on for too long. You think that's the solution, huh? The solution is not fewer billionaires. It's more billionaires, but make them young. I like that. I like that. As long as one of those billionaires, I mean, and it'll probably be you guys, right? If we're picking based on merit, which Gen Z should be billionaires, it would probably be you guys. I think it's only fair that like we maintain the same structure, but you guys become fabulously, insanely wealthy. I humbly accept. Well, Atrioc, I'm gonna humbly accept. I'll step up to this task. That's good. I really, that's really big of you. If you insist, that's big of you. If a bunch of Zoomers became billionaires overnight, how would the economy change? What do you think? What industries would you invest in? Labubu's, Labubu futures, Roblox, CS:GO skins. Definitely vapes. Dude, I feel like if a bunch of Zoomers got $1 billion overnight, by tomorrow the money would be either in Kai Cenat's pocket or DraftKings. They would hold on to their billions for exactly 48 hours, bro, and then it would all have been fucking shifted into gifted subs and DoorDash and Pornhub. Imagine the parlay. Dude, if you have $1 billion to bet on a parlay, you could really go big. Hey, guess what? Look what I got, Ari. It's Freenos Frog from Hades 2. It's on Etsy, custom built. Freenos Frog, Freenos Frog. It arrived. Shout out to chat, which helped me find this. I really appreciate. Actually, it was someone specifically, but I don't remember who. I'm sorry. Somebody sent me the link once it was finally available again, and it was really kind, and I appreciate that. Everyone, just say me if it was you. Anyway, it was really nice, and she really loved it. So it's very cool. I'm very happy to have gotten it. It is her birthday tomorrow, so a little early birthday gift. Excited about that. Hey, listen, Trump had a 60 Minutes interview that I kind of wanted to watch. I mean, this is Donald J. Trump we're talking about. And I thought it would be fun to watch it with you. So lock the fuck in, our president. Okay, let's see what he's got going on. Now, look, the polling hasn't been so great. Trump's approval hits a second-term low from a variety of sources, actually, here. Let's see where he's at. Trump's approval hits a second-term low. Again, views of the Democratic Party still near all-time lows, but Trump is now at a 63% disapproval, numerically the highest he's ever had in either term, which is, it is 1 percentage point higher than it was when he left office in January 2021. That's That's when he was really unpopular. That's the height of COVID and after the Capitol riots. So he's more unpopular now. Post Jan 6th? Yeah, it was post Jan 6th. Broad dissatisfaction with Trump around the country. Americans are broadly dissatisfied with the state of the country, 68%, and the economy, 72%. Nearly half call the economy and cost of living the top issue facing the U.S. Yup. About 6 in 10, 61% say Trump's policies have worsened economic conditions in the U.S. Yes, dude. Fucking, this is what I've been saying. This is what I've fucking been saying, and it's only becoming more true. There's just no way the way the economy is and is heading can sustain any type of electoral advantage. So if you believe that we're going to have elections, which I understand, there's skepticism, but if you do, this is untenable. This is untenable. Yeah, just people are too upset about it. And I gotta say, not to particularly crash out before we get into this, but I was thinking about this lately, and it got me kind of feeling some type of way. And just all the things I'm seeing from Trump lately, I was trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody who supported him, which is very easy for me. Very easy for me. And it's just like, imagine believing in the ideals of like no more foreign entanglements. We're going to focus on domestic issues. We're going to get grocery prices down. We're going to get the economy back on track. And everything you're seeing lately is like him flying around the world, more foreign entanglements, almost no discussion of the economy. And then this is like a little thing, but I'm noticing it. Every Trump clip I watch, there is more fucking gold in that White House. Let alone the $300 million new ballroom. It's like it's just this endless deluge of gold and excess, and it feels so cartoonishly out of touch. I mean, I was reading two things today to kind of prepare for stream. One of them was about Trump and the speeches he's been giving, what he's been working on, so I could know what I'm talking about going into this. But then the other was from a auto loan repo guy who was talking about how he's never had more business in his 30-year career. How they're repossessing like a dozen cars a day. And it just feels like there's such a dramatic, like yawning Grand Canyon gap between what the people in power are doing and saying. You know, I've been a guy that's very often, tried to strongly refuse to just point the finger in one direction. Because I think the problems in America and in our economy are deep fractures that have been from both parties for a long time. And I think that it's been compounding and getting worse. But this is like the most nakedly, I don't know, this most nakedly out of touch, not even pretending. It's like the most nakedly corrupt, out of touch. It's very frustrating to watch. So anyway, all that as context, I think other people are feeling somewhat similar, at least dissatisfied. Where they point, we don't know, but at least dissatisfied. 56% feel his foreign politicians have hurt America's standing in the world. Almost certainly. Almost certainly. Even I think this is shocking. This is not 100%. Not that I like if I was diehard Trump, if I was 100% on his board, even I would say it's hurt our standing in the world. Like I would say, if I fully believe, I'm fully like, you know, JD Vance pilled, and I'm like, you know what? They've been free riding on us too long. This is us getting back. We're getting tariff money for our coffers. Like, even if you believe that, obviously you have to understand that the standing is down. That the other countries are going to smile and love it. Anyway, he's gone too far deporting immigrants living in the U.S. illegally, 57%. About a quarter of Americans said the state of the U.S. democracy is the top issue facing the nation. So I hear this all the time, and I even hear it from people in chat sometimes. And it's not like it's not an important issue, but every time somebody says this, I always feel like they're like well off. That's the vibe. I feel like this is what my like grandma says is the most important issue. You know what I'm saying? That they have a house. They're fine. She's out there on the No Kings protest, and she's like, and it's like, I get it. I agree. He's shaking the foundations of our systems, but I am of the opinion that you could build a really, really strong big tent group entirely on the fact that people are getting fucked over economically. That's what I think. I think that is you could sweep 48 states, bro. All right, let's watch the thing. Sorry, I'm off on a tangent. Let's watch what we got. That was a wild fucking interview. And you know what? Hearing my vote for 2028, baby. Trump train! Let's get on it. He tells it like it is. That's what I liked about him in that interview. He tells it like it is. And 2032 if we can get it. He does a lot more economy BS in the full version. I don't know if I can watch anymore. That was interesting even. Very, very, very interesting indeed, is what I'll say about that. Very, very interesting. I honestly thought that never in my life we'd have a president like him. I know it's an honor. It's an honor, isn't it? I'm excited. Too much Riz, too much aura. Well, there's a new How Money Works who's been on a crazy hot streak lately, really. I gotta say. I'm really enjoying the How Money Works content this year. It is about the bubble, but I kind of want to watch it because I have a discussion on this to come up. So maybe this will watch this, and then it'll segue. It's called "If Not Bubble, Then Why Bubble Shaped," and it's got the how is this not fraud, and then the chart that we've discussed a number of places. I mean, everyone's been talking about this chart of the incestuous relationship between all the big AI companies.
If you ask
But I'm sure there's more.
anybody what they think about the investment market surrounding AI, they are all going to say the same thing.
Internet bubble.
There will be a bubble.
We are in an AI bubble.
Hey!
If you ask anybody what they think about the investment market surrounding AI, they are all going to say the same thing.
Internet bubble.
Soy point! Soy point! That's LS, baby! Per Atrioc. I'm happy this happened. This is a fun interview.
There will be a bubble.
We are in an AI bubble.
Yeah, that's right. We are in a bubble, and it's easy to see why they might think so. The entire market is being carried by a few firms speculating about the future of AI. They are all playing a game of say a bigger.
I mean, it's funny because that clip is probably him saying it's not a bubble. At least he's changed his tune so much since our interview, but in that interview it was like pretty. It's probably cut out.
Number every quarter, the products they are releasing are a long way from covering the cost they are incurring, and every day it just looks like this whole game is being held together by tech CEOs passing around the same pile of money to make their numbers look good. This is to say nothing of the outside geopolitical risks that could smother this whole industry. The more you look into the current state of the market, the less flattering it looks behind the scenes. But the most dangerous thing in the world is not what you don't know, it's what you know for sure that simply ain't true. If everybody has agreed that this is a bubble, then why are informed investors still piling billions of dollars into it every month? Are they dumber than us, or do they see something that regular people don't? Now, I want to say that, for the record, I think this whole thing is absolutely cooked.
I mean, I have a problem with that statement already. The word informed on investors and then flashing pictures of CEOs who are openly selling right now. Jensen just closed a $1 billion share sale. Like, the idea that this smart guy is buying in right now is not true. He's not a purchaser of NVIDIA stock. He's getting it, as CEO, but he's a seller. So I'm sure there's more to this video, but I don't like that framing specifically. And again, the idea that smart money's buying right now is simply not true by the math. What's actually happening is, like, again, the passive flows of 401ks are flowing into the largest market cap stocks: NVIDIA, Amazon, Meta, Google, Tesla. And then a lot of people are gambling on zero DTEs on these stocks. That pushes them up. But that's not, okay, maybe it's probably covered. I'm just making sure, but.
Now, I want to say that, for the record, I think this whole thing is absolutely cooked. However, the best way to really understand something is to not seek out information that confirms your beliefs, but instead those that challenge them.
Ground news.
So, to play devil's advocate, how is it possible that this whole thing is not just speculative mania?
We as a country need these investments if we're going to be the leader in AI technology.
Jensen, NVIDIA is making a $100 billion investment in OpenAI.
The world's top tech companies are pouring billions into building new data centers in the U.S.
It'll be a world of incredible material abundance. It'll be a world where individual ability, impact, whatever, is just so far beyond what a person can do today.
I really hope this video doesn't have the Sam Altman quote I'm thinking of, because I want to talk about it afterwards. I really hope it's not in here, but if it is, then pre-watched.
But the economic impact of these deals, it turns out, is indistinguishable from full control.
Now, the thing about bubbles is that usually they take some kind of outside force to pop them. The dot-com collapse was kicked off by a combination of factors, but 3 really stand out. Microsoft being sued for violation of antitrust laws, MicroStrategy doing a massive revising of their financial results, causing their stock to fall 60% in a single day and getting them into hot water with the SEC, and a single article that pointed out the unviable business model that a lot of dot-com companies were running on. A few years later, the housing bubble was popped by the subprime mortgage crisis, which itself was kicked off by rate resets and loan originators filing for bankruptcy. So if the AI industry was in a bubble, it's had a lot of things that have come a long way which could have popped it. Market instability around tariffs, legislative controls over AI chips, rising interest rates, legal challenges over training data, organizational shocks, infrastructure problems, concerning studies over business use cases, and what looks like increasingly desperate attempts to generate any kind of revenue. That's not to mention that if one article back in 2000 could start unraveling the dot-com bubble, surely the daily articles coming out about the problems in this industry should do the same, right? Well, so far at least, the market has pretty much just shrugged all of this off, and it's been able to do this for 3 very important reasons. The first is where all of this money is actually coming from. Over the last decade and a half, big US tech companies have slowly built up an enormous pile of cash. Outside of insurance or
my old workplace,
US tech companies have slowly built up an enormous pile of cash.
Dude, when I was there, they had no green. Isn't that fucked? They wait for Big A to leave to put in a little fucking fresh flowers, and it was cold and sterile. And now it's got like plants everywhere. They thought you had allergies.
Cash. Outside of insurance or financial firms, which are legally mandated to have cash on hand for compliance reasons, tech companies like Microsoft, Meta, Apple, and Alphabet have more cash than any other companies on the planet after saving it away for the better part of 2 decades. They had been doing this for 2 reasons. The first was that before 2017, tax laws heavily incentivized shifting cash into offshore accounts primarily held in Ireland.
Yup.
The exact structures that they used to erode these profits into a haven like this were very complicated. But once the cash was there, they couldn't really touch it unless they wanted to pay tax on it.
Yuck!
This means that they just slowly accumulated cash waiting for something to use it on. However, in 2017, these companies were offered a one-time deal to bring back these offshore savings into America for a small tax concession, which gave them all a lot of dry powder to make some big local investments. Now, they have used a lot of that money to do share buybacks, and they have kept a lot of it abroad to fund their international operations, but they also earmarked billions for future capital expenditures. Now, the second reason they built such huge cash reserves was because for a while, these companies were actually struggling to find projects worth investing in. They had become so dominant in their respective markets that spending a lot of money on development was seen as an unnecessary expense that wasn't really worth the risk. Today, that has obviously changed, and the big companies that are driving most of the expenditure on data centers are almost making up for a lost decade where they were arguably not investing enough money into new projects. This also applies to all of the money they are introducing into the system to support less established firms like OpenAI. Sure, the money is getting passed around a lot once it's in the system, but the initial source of these funds is largely coming from piles of cash these companies had sitting on the sidelines. This means compared to something like the housing bubble, which was propped up on a lot of debt and rigid derivatives, these companies are at least building atop a solid fiscal foundation. Now, of course, having a strong foundation does not guarantee that the house you build on top of it will also be good. Similarly, just because these companies happen to be holding on to trillions of dollars doesn't necessarily mean that setting it all on fire to chase one single bet is a good idea. It also doesn't mean that regular—
Yeah, I think that's the soul of it. I mean, look, Saudi Arabia's got a lot of oil money, but I'm not betting on the line. You know what I'm saying? It's like some of these companies are profitable, yes, but if the core thing they're throwing the money into doesn't make a return, it's still a disaster. And again, the linchpin company of it all, OpenAI, is not a cash-generating geyser like Google or Microsoft or Meta. It is an unprofitable company.
Investors won't get burned if this money suddenly gets yoinked back off the table. So it's time to learn How Money works to find out what else could possibly explain this all not being a bubble. This week's video is sponsored by Cape, the privacy-first mobile carrier that's rethinking how phone service should work. Cape gives you G core network.
Check it out.
It's
It's
private.
private.
That keeps your data private. Remember, Cape cuts
And
that
you
risk
can get
out
an
completely.
eSIM.
Your number is locked with a 20 that actually makes sense in 2025. On top of that, every Cape plan includes encrypted voicemail and real-time network-level threat blocking. They're even partnering with Proton so you can add Proton VPN Plus or Proton Unlimited for just $1. Cape's still in beta, but it's already trusted by security leaders at OpenAI, CrowdStrike, and more. If you're ready to protect your phone number and your data, visit cape.co/getcape and use code HowManyWorks33 for 33% off your first 6 months of Cape. That's cape.co/getcape. One of the most concerning trends that has developed in this space is the circular dealing between all of the companies involved in different areas of this industry. We first covered this about 2 months ago when Oracle's stock price spiked after reporting a huge data center rental commitment from OpenAI, who had raised billions of dollars from Nvidia, who made that money in the first place by selling graphics cards to companies like Oracle. Since then, the deals have only gotten bigger, and reporters have done a really good job piecing together just how far and wide this web of financial fuckery goes. Now, most commentary has rightfully called this out as companies pulling themselves up by their own bootstraps. They are making their revenue look better than they really are by investing in their own customers. Not exactly a sustainable business model. However, to play devil's advocate again, there is something to be said about this strategy from a risk mitigation perspective. When people look back with the benefit of hindsight at the dot-com bubble, they all say the same thing. Yeah, the market was dumb, but after a major correction, there were still some big winners that emerged. Some of them being the same tech companies involved in the AI market right now. Nvidia investing into a company like OpenAI right now looks a little bit suspicious, but had a company like AOL invested in Amazon back in 1999, we would probably be a little less critical. By investing up and down the supply chain, if you could call it that, these companies are in theory maximizing the chance that they will capture the value eventually generated through AI. There is also one other really important detail that a lot of people gloss over when exposing this financial circle jerk. It's
Okay.
easy to look at this and conclude that this whole market is just a Ponzi scheme popped up by investor hype. The only problem with that deduction, though, is that they aren't really taking investors' money. Netted out, the major players in this industry are paying out far more money through dividends and stock buybacks than they are taking in through stock issuance or borrowing. When compared again to the dot-com bubble, the story was very different. Hyped companies were dependent on bringing in a continuous stream of investor money to keep the lights on in businesses that made no profit, and often didn't even make any revenue. A company like OpenAI is also in this position, where if they don't keep on bringing in new investors, they won't be able to continue operating. But they are not raising money from regular investors. They are primarily getting it off companies that have plenty of cash to invest. Now, I am not exactly going to say
Okay,
I feel...
I don't agree with any of this, but I like this channel a lot, so I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. I mean, first of all, all these companies have begun turning to debt. Okay, even the ones that are cash rich. Meta just put out, they get a $30 billion bond. There's a lot of companies issuing debt at this point to keep it going. Like if you look at the graph of CapEx funded by debt in AI, it's like spiked in the past half year. It's like way, way higher. So I would first of all say that the idea that it's all funded off of like money that's just sitting around unallocated is not true. Now that's the general thing. But then I would say like if the American 401ks inflows are funding higher stock prices, you don't have to issue new shares for it to be able to, like if your stock price is propped up by that, you can perform acquisitions, you can feel comfortable spending money on future ideas like this. Like they don't have to actually issue new stock for it to be funded by investors and the regular Americans. It doesn't have to be so direct and transactional as that. So I don't know. I'm just disagreeing with the. Not the fundamental idea that there could be something here. Again, I fully, I don't subscribe to it, but I can see the rationale between somebody saying, "Look, this all seems very bubble-like, but AI is a transformational technology. We're investing for the future. You don't make profits in the short term." I can see all that. But I don't see the idea that it's like, it's all what's like on the logic of this video, you could almost say, hey, if this doesn't work out or generate profits, it's okay. It's like, no, it's not. It's not. It's actually not.
Feel bad for big tech companies, but nothing they do with their money right now is going to be popular. If they make capital investments into data centers, people will say they are blowing their money on chips that will be obsolete.
No, I don't think it was bought by private equity. Listen, I like this channel a lot. I'm just, I'm not going to just not say my thoughts.
In 2 years' time. If they buy their own shares, people will call them out for driving up demand on an already overvalued stock. And if they buy shares in other companies, people will call them out for circular dealing. Yeah, I know. I am sure they are truly devastated. Now, with all of that said, that doesn't mean that these companies and the wider economy are completely safe. Share prices are clearly elevated on the expectation that AI products and services will eventually bring in trillions of dollars to major participants in this industry. If this doesn't pan out, then those prices could be reconsidered very quickly. The major incumbent players aren't at immediate risk of collapse, because they still have far more cash than debt, and they still have functional parts of the business to fall back on. Their biggest risk is that if this does go tits up, then they will have to explain to their investors why they thought it was better to spend hundreds of billions of dollars on redundant data centers instead of just paying out that money to them. Now, nobody can truly predict what the future of AI will...
I guess the disconnect here is like, when I'm talking about like the danger of a bubble, I'm not talking about I'm worried that Google's gonna cease to exist as a company. Okay. I'm not like, oh my God, this bubble could pop, we'd lose Google. That's not the point. That's not the relevant part. The point is that if there's a stock price correction on this AI hype, the wealth effect that is keeping people spending in this economy evaporates, because that is such a large portion of Americans' 401ks and of the wealthy's portfolios. And then once that evaporates, that's the last pillar holding up the economy. That's like, That's the chain of effects that I'm talking about. Not necessarily that these mega profitable tech companies will fail. I think some of the AI companies could fail. All of them are net losers. And it seems like not all of them can thrive, even if there was profit in AI. But
look like, and even the CEOs themselves have admitted that, but they are framing it like this. They are betting $500 billion on a dice roll. If it comes up 6, they will make $10 trillion. It's a risky bet, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad bet. Oh, and it takes the sting off knowing that the government will probably be there to comp them some chips if they just keep the game going, but we don't say that part out loud. Now, if you are still not convinced, don't worry. I'm not convinced either.
Okay.
But go and watch this video next to find out why our opinions are absolutely meaningless.
Okay. Well, I wasn't convinced, but I mean, that's a fine outro. Yeah, I wasn't convinced. That was not, but speaking of not convinced, I want to talk about someone else who was asked a very similar question about the AI bubble. Right here. Sam Altman went on a podcast. Forget the name of it, the B2B podcast or whatever, with Brad Gerstner. And the podcast is almost universally a glaze. The podcast was like 100% glazing Sam Altman, OpenAI, the AI boom, what's coming next. And he asked, just the BG2 podcast, I'm sorry. He asked one simple question. And, you know, if you were someone who really believed this is not a dangerous line of thought, you should be able to answer this question relatively. You should be prepared for this question. This is an important question that everyone's asking. And instead, Sam Altman gets really defensive.
How can a company with 13 billion in revenues make 1.4 trillion of spend commitments? You know, and you've heard the criticism,
First
Sam.
of all, we're doing well more revenue than that. Second of all, Brad, if you want to sell your shares, I'll find you a buyer. I just, enough. Like, you know, people are, I think there's a lot of people who would love to buy OpenAI shares. I don't think you would,
including myself. Including myself.
People who talk with a lot of like breathless concern about our compute stuff or whatever that would be thrilled to buy shares. So I think we could sell, you know, your shares or anybody else's to some of the people who are making the most noise on Twitter, whatever, about this very quickly. We do plan for revenue to grow steeply. Revenue is growing steeply. We are taking a forward bet that it's going to continue to grow, and that not only will ChatGPT keep growing, but we will be able to become one of the important AI clouds that our consumer device business will be.
Look, I'm letting him speak. But I have a lot to say at the end of this.
A significant and important thing that AI that can automate science will create huge value. So, you know, there are not many times that I want to be a public company, but one of the rare times it's appealing is when those people are writing these ridiculous OpenAI is about to go out of business and, you know, whatever. I would love to tell them they could just short the stock, and I would love to see them get burned on that.
How can for a guy that hates Elon Musk, he sounds exactly fucking like him. This is the classic playbook. Someone gives you a legitimate question, a legitimate numbers question. How come you guys make no money? You have relatively small revenue and no profit, yet you're promising in the relatively near future to have trillions of dollars to spend. Every day you assign new deals, new promises. They signed, 500 billion with Oracle. They signed billions with CoreWeave. They signed billions with AMD. They signed billions with NVIDIA. They just signed billions with Amazon just today. I saw this funny tweet. Let me see if I got it. OpenAI, the compute purchase order press release company. In recent weeks and months, that's what they become. All they do is just put out press releases of what they're going to buy more fucking data centers. And they don't have any of the money for it. And so if somebody asks, like, hey, where are you going to get the money for all these fucking announcements? For the $1 billion, what was the Amazon? OpenAI? Amazon. $38 billion computing deal with Amazon. Again, just to be clear, I mean, this title could seem like, what does that mean? OpenAI is saying we're going to pay $38 billion to Amazon to build out data centers for us to use in the cloud. Okay? Their spending commitments are now closing at a 1.5 trillion, but they don't have this money. So it's a fair question to be like, okay, buddy, everyone in the world is now starting work on projects you promised to pay for. When are you going to be able to pay for it? And this is from a friendly interviewer, an interviewer that's on his side. And his response immediately is to get super duper defensive.
The company with 13 billion in revenues make 1.4 trillion of spend commitments, you know, and you've heard the criticism,
First
Sam.
of all, we're doing well more revenue.
He just looks up in the sky like he's fucking obviously lying, pathological liar. And again, you know, everyone can see that you're getting increasingly desperate for this revenue, whether it's the Sora AI slop generator, whether it's you're rolling out the chat sex bot, whether it's the new prices on tokens for video generation. Like, you're clearly trying to drum up some more money to make this worthwhile. And if you had a solid answer, then I would give that. You should say that. You should be like, hey, listen, this is our direct plan. This is how we're going to pay for it. But it feels like you're spinning plates, a bit of a house of cards. And the idea seems to be more to get so many commitments to so many people that you're too big to fail. That's the idea that it seems to be to me. Not that you have a real business plan. This is a good Wall Street Journal article. Is OpenAI becoming too big to fail? To make yourself so important to every major tech player and have so many press releases out and tying yourself with so many billions that if you were to fail, it would tank the stock market entirely. And then, you know, Trump would have to bail you out. That seems to be the plan more than anything, than any actual business reason. And this is becoming more and more clear. So, you know, if you owe somebody $1 billion, if you owe somebody $1 million, that's your problem. But if you owe a bunch of people $1.5 trillion and everything is riding on it, that's their problem. I think he's like tripling down on the borrowing because if it was one deal that flopped, well, you're fucked. But if every deal flops, then someone's got to bail you out. And I think he's avoiding this question. And it's just a classic defensive stock pumper strategy to go back to the stock. Be like, well, then sell your shares. Sell your shares then if you don't think, it's just, it's the fucking shorters, the FUD. It sounds like Elon again. It's like pump. Let me see if I yeah, you just seemed extremely sensitive to the question. Yeah, this is the quote. If you owe big tech $1 billion, it's your problem. If you owe big tech 1.5 trillion, it's their problem. Yeah, I just think he's all fucking in. I'm trying to see if there's any. And then speaking of him and Elon, they had a fight. You know, we can end this section on that. For people who are remarkably similar, honestly, in a lot of ways, and who are both, I think, on the whole, disliked. They really hate each other. They really fucking hate each other. Elon and Sam have been sniping on social media. Sam Altman posted a tale in 3 acts talking about reserving a Tesla Roadster in 2018 for 45 grand, and it's still not here. It's still not here. and he's trying to get a refund, and then they won't respond. 7 years later, no Roadster. 7.5 years. And they didn't respond. So Elon sees this tweet and he's mad. So he responds and says, "You stole a nonprofit," which is about how Elon Musk was an investor in the early nonprofit era of OpenAI. OpenAI is now transitioned to a for-profit company, and Elon Musk is no longer involved. I guess both true. Although I will say, if you look into the details, I did it for this video we did on the Sam Altman CEO fiasco. Elon Musk wanted OpenAI to be owned by Tesla and become profitable, become a profit company anyway. It's not like Elon Musk was investing in OpenAI for the fucking good of humanity, and then they both wanted to control it, I guess. And they just anyway cut Elon out of the picture. So, also there was a deposition that came out recently from Ilya Sutskever, who's like the chief engineer at OpenAI. He has like a 45-page deposition, so I didn't get to read it all. But, you know, there's a lot of, I don't know if you guys remember, there was this big thing a year ago. Was it a year, 2 years ago? How long has it been? Where they forced Sam Altman out as CEO and called him a pathological liar. And then he got it back. And for a brief period, one day, the old Twitch CEO was the CEO of OpenAI. That was a year ago. Man, time flies. Wasn't that this year? No, that was a year ago. That was crazy. Good times. You made a video about it? I know. I'm just remembering the video. So anyway, they're sniping at each other. I helped turn the thing you left for dead into what should be the largest nonprofit ever. You know as well as anyone that a structure like what OpenAI is now is required to make that happen. You want Tesla? Yeah, to take Tesla OpenAI over, no nonprofit at all. You had 0% chance of success. Can't we all just move on? I don't get where Elon's final thoughts are. The billionaires are indeed fighting. The billionaires are indeed fighting on this one. Good money from Bulgaria. Good to see you. It's like my parents, but I got 0 Christmases. One more thing on Elon. I'm giving little Elon. I used to do more Elon updates, but he's been kind of out of the news ever since leaving the government. Little Elon update. They're doing the vote, I think, this week on whether or not he gets the $1 trillion pay package. Wait, pause. Slime hit gold. Wait a minute. Twitch.tv/slime IRL. Let's pull this up. Holy! He got gold! Wait, did he beat Nick?
Oh my god!
Did Nick not get gold yet? That's crazy. That's actually a generational comeback. The mood on the street was that he would be the second to get gold. Okay, here's the real question though. He says he's free. Check his account. Check his account in 3 days. If he's played, I almost guarantee he plays another one. I almost guarantee. He might take 24 hours off, but I know the siren song of weed, bro. I think he plays it again. He's got to uninstall it right now. Dude, ending on a 12 and 2?
I destroyed this Katarina. I destroyed her. I destroyed 1 million fucking points, which means nothing, Katarina.
Ending on a 12-2. That's
What's the average
good.
level? Tell me it was gold. Maybe. Oh, baby.
What a forward young man you are.
Oh my god.
He might just boot up another right now. Hey, dude, what a run. Look at this. 19-3, 14-4, 5-1. Okay, he earned his way there.
Forward young man you are.
Fuck, dude.
He got inspired by Faker. Dude, he literally didn't. I messaged him and I was like, hey, no, I told you guys the story. I was like, hey, are you going to watch T1 tonight? And he's like, Tyler won. I don't think so. He doesn't even know about Faker, dude. He doesn't know about any. He doesn't know fucking. He doesn't know. He doesn't fucking know. That was in the league stream, though. Well, all right. Congratulations. Good for Slime. That's a big deal. That's a. You got to respect it. Listen, the league journey for everybody is nightmarish and cruel. Oh shit, chat. Wait. Oh shit. Okay, wait. Let me say this last thing about Elon Musk. All right. So here's the fucking tea on Elon. Okay. Elon goes to the Tesla board and he goes, "Hey, I need 25% voting control of the company. I need it to ensure that we can get this company to fucking Mars, that we can build for the future. I don't feel comfortable if I don't have 25% voting control." Now, it's worth noting that at one point he basically did have 25% voting control, and he's sold shares over the years and is now down to like 12% voting control. He's like, I need 25%. Now, what the board would actually like to do is take his 12% shares and give them Zuckerberg-style 10x voting. Okay? So that he has the same number of shares, same cash value, but more voting control. Because they don't want to give him money. They don't want to give him $1 trillion fucking dollars. It turns out that is illegal. That's 120%. It's not, first of all, no, it's not. Okay. Second of all, it is illegal in a public company after everything's already set up and it's public to change the voting class of somebody's shares to dilute the common shareholder. If I'm a person that bought shares in Tesla, I expect to have my vote. Okay? And if you fuck with the system and change the voting so that I'm out of it, or you change my, like, for example, one of the ideas they proposed was that his class A shares stay the same, but then all of us regular investors turn our class A shares into class B that has zero voting right. Okay? And that way it would dilute all of us so that he has higher voting. This is all thought about ways to do it. But literally, I'm not kidding. I mean, this is the article, but literally Robin Denholm, the board chair, comes out and says, hey, here, I'm getting it. Here, this is the one I was looking at. She goes, listen, we tried everything. It's not possible. Wait, I got a quote. The direct quote is, we searched high and low. There wasn't they couldn't find any way to change his voting rights without giving him $1 trillion. So instead of changing the voting structure of any of the shares, the way that Zuckerberg has it, Zuckerberg has, not that many shares of Facebook, but they all have a certain voting class, so he has more control. But Tesla can't do that because they've already been public. It hasn't already been set up. So the only way they can get him to 25% is to just give him so much stock trillions of dollars of stock, then he gets 25%. They have to give him just infinite amount of money. So that's what's happening. That is why he's getting this pay package. I mean, the other reason is that he's fucking probably insanely greedy and just wants a lot of money. But even if this were actually true and he only wants voting shares, the only way to do it is to give him a trill. Which is pretty crazy. But I want to be clear that, like, obviously the Tesla board is pretty captured by Elon, but I actually do believe Robin Denholm here when she's like, I would prefer to not give him $1 trillion of stock. But I'm also so afraid that he's going to quit and our stock will tank that I just have to do it. She's like, they're forced. Who gives up their shares to make this happen? No, they're gonna add to them. They're gonna print new shares, distribute new shares. So it's pretty crazy. If we don't have Elon at the helm, or he isn't as motivated or incentivized to actually create that future, it's a negative for all shareholders. And it's just like what we talked about in the Tesla video, which is like, this thing is so propped up on hype and robots and self-driving and Elon promises that if he's gone and this company's valued fairly, we're all going to lose our shirts. It's not going to be $1 trillion company. It's going to be like a $50 to $100 billion company based on their actual revenue and output. If it's valued like a car company, it's like, it's 1/10 the size. So, they have to keep feeding this monster. So it's interesting. Anyway, chat, I'm actually going to end here. I'm sorry, but I forgot that there's a Lakers game right now and I really want to watch it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go watch the Lakers game. I really want to watch it. I'm trying to watch a lot of Lakers game. Can we see you reacting? Unfortunately, I would get banned, or I would react to every Lakers game. It'd be fun as shit. Somebody invent that. But one thing I did want to say is, and this is important, I will be back tomorrow with no, I'm sorry. Tomorrow, I think we'll do some Road to Empress. That sounds fine. Sounds fun. I want to chill because we're doing the podcast tomorrow. And we're doing it early so I can go live. So Road to Empress tomorrow. That sounds fun. But Wednesday is what I want to say. While you're here, if you're a marketing type person, business type person, Wednesday, we have an interview at 1:30 p.m. Pacific with Melody Wright about the U.S. housing market. And I think it's going to be really fucking good. Okay? Melody Wright, Wednesday, 1:30, U.S. housing market, and I'll stay live afterwards and we'll do more stuff. But it'll be fucking cool, I think. I'm pretty excited for this interview. So, check that out if you're interested. Okay, thanks for watching. Goodbye. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. Salute, 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 salute. Cheer for the Lakers! Good night. Good vibes today. Appreciate you. Bye.